Hi everyone, welcome back again. It's always good to be back. It is always good to be back. My name is Ope Adebayo and I'm a life coach and also the cheerleader of dreams. And I know we've had some couple of people that have just joined us on this channel, and you all might be wondering what this channel is all about. Now, on this channel, we discuss about everything that can help you, that will prepare you, that will support you, that will guide you to become a better version of you. Everything that will help you to become a better version of yourself in all spheres. Everything that will help you to become a full expression of who God wants you to be. And what do we have for today? Today's topic is quite an interesting one. And I am just so excited to talk about this topic. And what is our topic for today? Our topic for today is, it is time for you to shift your gaze. It is time for you to shift your gaze. And without further ado, let's dive right into the topic of today. Do you know that what you focus on have a way of taking over your mind, your life, and capturing your attention? It doesn't even matter if it's important or not. The truth is, what you focus on can control or rule your life. Now let's take a look at some examples here. Example 1. Do you know that if you spend a lot of time on social media, you will gradually begin to have interest in so many things, and from there, everything you are having interest in will gradually begin to capture your attention, and eventually you will find it so difficult to stay off it. You will find it so difficult to stay off social media, and from there you will start having interest in everything, but the good, the bad, and the ugly, even things that doesn't even benefit you in any way, because it has captured your attention. That is where your focus is. That is where your mind is. That has captured your thought process. Example 1. Example 2. Most people cannot do without their phone for a second. Why? Because it has captured their attention. They are so engrossed with it to the extent that it has become an idol. They can't do without it. It has captured their attention. That's where their focus is. That's where their mind is. That's where their thought process is. That is what is driving their thought process. They can't do without their phone for a second. It is a problem for them. That's example 2. Why do we fix our attentions where it ought not to be? We focus on the problems, the inadequacies, the past, the failures. Why? The truth is this. These are all distractions carefully positioned to manipulate you and to also hold you back from fulfilling your God-given purpose in life. Carefully positioned to bank on that weakness of yours and also ensure that you are doing the wrong thing at the right time. Carefully positioned to ensure that you do not even see or know your value. Carefully positioned to ensure that you do not come to the truth of the knowledge of the reason of your existence and your purpose in life and how to go about it. It's called what? The wrong focus. Wrong focus can limit you. It can even reduce you to nothing. It can steal from you and can also destroy you if you allow it. Now let's take a look at some biblical examples. Now let's look at the book of Judges chapter 16, which talks about the story of Samson and Delilah. We are all familiar with the story of Samson and Delilah, so we are not going to go into the whole detail of the story, but we are going to summarize the story and point out the key points, the key factor that resonates with our topic of discussion for today. Okay? Now, in that passage, or from that passage, Samson had a wrong focus. Yes, he retraced his steps, but he bore the consequences, a terrible one. Why? Because he focused on the wrong thing, and the wrong thing captured his heart. The wrong thing captured his attention, and that resulted into destruction that cost him a lot. the wrong focus. Another example is the example of the prodigal son, Luke chapter 15. He also had a wrong focus. He wanted to enjoy life. He lavished all his resources. Yes, he retraced his steps, but he bore the consequences. The wrong focus captured his attention. Prodigal son had a wrong focus. Another example is the example that we see from the book of Esther chapter 3. Haman had a wrong focus. Haman allowed his wrong focus to consume him, to rule his life. Haman's wrong focus led to his own destruction. He paid for his wickedness with his own life. That is what a wrong focus can do. He had a wrong focus, and his wrong focus led to his own destruction. The wrong focus. And our final example for today is the example that we see in the book of Daniel chapter 3 about King Nebuchadnezzar and the 3 Hebrew boys. The king ordered the 3 Hebrew boys to be thrown into the lake of fire. He was furious. He completely lost his focus. Why? Because the 3 Hebrew boys refused to follow the status quo as at then. And because of that, he commanded that they all be thrown into the lake of fire. Wrong focus. The king had a wrong focus, and he completely lost his focus. We have a lot of examples in the Bible, but because of time, we are just going to stop here today. Now, back to us. Back to us. We are a burning and a shining light. We are God's light in this world. You are God's light in this world. And the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 14 says, you are the light of the world. I am the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot what? Cannot be hidden. And verse 16 says, let your light shine before men so that they may see your good works and what? And glorify your Father which is in heaven. That's what the word of God says. We are all on this journey of faith together. But before we can experience the fullness of God's promises, you will have to shift your gaze and fix it on Him. In order for you to enjoy the fullness of God's promises, of His great promises, you will have to shift that gaze of yours and fix it on the one that can give you hope. The book of Psalm 33 verse 18 says, the eyes of the Lord are on those that fear Him and those that hope in His mercy. And the book of Romans chapter 5 verse 5 says what? It says, for hope maketh not ashamed, for the love of God has been spread abroad in our hearts through the power of the Holy Ghost that has been given to us. Fixing your gaze on God costs you nothing. It's a great privilege. It's an honor. It's a blessing. But you not fixing your gaze on God will cost you a lot. It will cost you everything. It will cost you everything. Today we are talking about shifting your gaze. You have to develop the ability to see beyond where you are right now. You have to develop the ability to see beyond where you are right now. You have to develop the ability to see yourself through the eyes of God. Through the eyes of God, the way God sees you, the way God feels about you. You have to develop the ability to see yourself in that way. If you do not develop the ability to see yourself in that way, in that form, it's a big problem. If you do not develop the ability to see yourself in that way or in that form, you will always end up having a wrong focus. It is very easy to get stuck or even worry and focus on your mistakes or what didn't work and a lot more. When you focus on your circumstances or your problems, you can't think, you can't act, you can't see, and you can't thrive. You can't. And if you cannot see, If you cannot think, if you cannot thrive, if you cannot act, then what would you do? Nothing. You can't do anything because you have the wrong focus and you are stuck with the wrong focus. Or maybe you are in a situation whereby those that are attached to you have left you, forgotten you, neglected you, abandoned you, and you're worried. You are not the first person that this will happen to. It happened to Jesus and he survived it. Now listen to this. Some people or things can be attached to you. Everything attached to you, to your life, is for a specific time. Now, this is where we all get it wrong. And I want you to listen to this carefully so that you can make necessary adjustments where needed, okay? All right. Everyone attached to you is for a specific time. Just as we have times and seasons for everything. A time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to reap, a time to sow. Everything attached to you is for a specific time and season. But anything that has been assigned to you, assigned to your destiny, stays with you. Where we all get it wrong is this. There is a big difference between attached and assigned. Attached is for a specific time, but assigned to your destiny is forever. So why are you worried about the things that has been attached to you? You should be more worried about the things that God has assigned to your destiny. Destiny helpers. Every beautiful thing that God has assigned to your destiny, that is exactly what you should be worried about. If you are worried about the things that are attached to you, you have a wrong focus. But if you are worried about the things that God has assigned to your destiny, then you have the right focus. You have finally shifted your gaze from the wrong focus to the right focus. You are fixing it on Him. The only one that can help you, the only one that can guide you, the only one that can lead you, the only one that can teach you, the only one that can show you the prototype for your life. You know, during my quiet time, I was thinking about both words, attached and assigned. There is a big difference between those two words. We are always more concerned about the people attached to us, things attached to us, and we're sweating it out. Oh, attached. Whereas, there are specific people that God has assigned to our destiny. That's where a lot of us make the mistake. You know, when I caught that word, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, thank you. And this is the reason why I want you all to also know that there is a big difference between the word attached and assigned. If you're still worried about the people attached to you or things attached to you, there's a problem. Now you need to quit worrying. The only way that you can rise above where you are right now is when you shift your gaze from the wrong focus to the right focus. When you look beyond where you are right now, when you look beyond what you see right now, when you look beyond that problem of yours, when you look beyond that failure of yours, when you look beyond that fear of yours, when you look beyond that rejection, when you look beyond that doubt, when you look beyond that delay, when you look beyond that pain and fix your gaze on God. That's it. That's the solution. That's everything you need. Look beyond it all and fix your gaze on Him. As long as you're in this world, you can't remove God out of the equation because He makes the equation all. He makes it all. Without Him, it's incomplete. But with Him, it is complete. Without Him, you're empty. But with Him, you can be everything He wants you to be in life. With Him, fixing your gaze on Him. And finally for today, if you look at the book of Genesis chapter 12 and 13, it talks about the story of Abraham and how God told him to leave the country where he was then to a new place where He will show him, Abraham and his family, everything that he had. And as they journey on, There was a strife between Abraham's headmen and Lot's headmen. And Abraham told Lot, please, let there be no strife between us. And as a result of that, they both separated. This led to their own separation. And this is where I'm going. And after the separation, Lot was so excited. Why? Because he chose the plains of Jordan. It has everything. Everything beautiful. It has it. And Lot was so excited about it. And as for Abraham, he chose the land of Canaan. And after Lot had separated from Abraham, the Lord told Abraham, look up, lift up your eyes, look to the north, south, east, west. All the land that you see will I give to you and your seed, your family, forever. The key point here is what? Look up. Lift your eyes. The key point here is what? Look up. Lift your eyes. Fix your gaze on God. Fix it on Him. Look up. Everything changed when Abraham looked up. Everything changed when he lifted up his eyes. Everything changed when he fixed his gaze on God. The change that Abraham encountered, it was as a result of that lifting up. But God wanted him to lift up his eyes, to look up, so that he can see beyond those present situations and problems then, and begin to experience the beginning of the greatness that He has planned to do in him and through him. But it wouldn't have been achievable. It wouldn't have been a successful one without Abraham fixing his gaze on God. And I am here to encourage someone today with this vlog that it is time for you to shift that gaze of yours and fix it on God. He wants to take you on a beautiful journey. He wants to reveal Himself to you in a more powerful way. But it cannot be achievable if you do not fix your gaze on Him. Perhaps you found yourself consumed with the Lord today. Take your eyes off that situation and fix it on God. You need to realize something, and you need to understand something, that you need to look beyond that present situation of yours. You need to look beyond those circumstances, just like Abraham did, so that you can experience that greatness, so that you can see that greatness, so that you can see where He is taking you to. It's time to fix that gaze on God. It is time for you to shift that gaze and fix it on God. With God, you have nothing to lose. Without God, you have a lot to lose. In fact, you lose everything. So fix it on God, so that He can help you, guide you, prepare you, support you, teach you, show you things. And okay, that'll be all for today. If you find this topic very interesting and impactful in any way, please leave a comment below and click the like button. And if you're new to my channel, once again, I say a big thank you to you. Thank you for choosing to go on this journey with us. I do not take it for granted, and I will see you again in my next one. And until then, fix your gaze on Him. Thank you all for watching, and